see. Make $1 million, not have everything you need. Build it up a tall, tear it all down, do anything you please. But none of that matters anyway. There's only one thing that I came here to say: you ain't got nothing if you ain't got love. Nothing if you ain't got love. Could have a Rolls Royce in the driveway, Rolex hanging off your arm. Still have a glass that's half empty, 'cause it's missing a bunch of heart. The sink or swell, that's where it all comes down to this. But none of that matters anyway. There's only one thing that I came here to say: you ain't got nothing if you ain't got love. Nothing if you ain't got love. Yeah.
From Wichita Falls to Paris, from Atoka, Oklahoma to the Dallas area, Texoma has a thriving music scene. Revolving around country, country rock and blues, the singer-songwriters of the Texoma area reach into the outlying geographic enclaves here and there around the country. It's a scene of music that is defined more by geography than it is a sound, and encompasses all the facets of the music scene on either side of the border. Denison, Texas is the hub of this music region, and it's music-friendly in so many ways. Long-standing tradition and musical family spanning generations are the hallmark of this area. Denison is also one of the first 20 cities in the state of Texas to be designated a music-friendly city by the state. My name is Ann House, and I'm a singer here in the Texoma area. We're live casting from beautiful downtown Denison at the Podcast on Main studio. This is Open Mic with Ann House. Welcome to Open Mic with Ann House. My name is... Every time. Welcome to Open Mic with Ann House. My name is Ann House. I am here in beautiful downtown Denison at the Podcast on Main studio that belongs to Split Windows. We're at the corner of Main and Burnett here, and yesterday was Labor Day, so today we're actually just kind of hanging out a little bit, and everybody probably is recovering from yesterday a little bit. But one of the things that we've talked about so very often on this show is songwriting, and how the level of talent in this area is so very high with songwriting, and it's a music-friendly city, right? Okay, so again, that is not just a fact of life. It is a state designation. Denison was one of the first 20 cities, towns, communities in the state of Texas to garner that particular appellation from the state of Texas. There is a music office in the state of Texas, which I thought was pretty cool. So I have a hard time writing songs myself, right? And part of that is because I don't play an instrument, but part of it is because it's just a little antithetical to me for whatever reason, probably based on training. But I know so many really, really, really good songwriters like Jonathan Van Huss. Yeah, see, there he is. And Terry Wayne Conder. And I wondered, since my process was a little bit more collaborative, I've been in the corporate world a little bit too long for not doing it that way, how would some of the best songwriters I know personally handle being in a songwriting exercise? So we're going to take the time to do a songwriting exercise. So y'all all listen as we come up with something. We have an hour, okay? If you remember back when we talked to Town Walsh, the way his process begins is with 3 words, a 3-word phrase. And today's 3-word phrase is long way back. So I gave this to the guys yesterday for them to kind of mull over and think about overnight and maybe come up with something that they could begin with, because we do only have an hour. And
I slept on it. I folded it up and put it under my pillow.
that's a good way to do
it.
it. That's a good way to do
I
it.
stressed out about it.
Terry stressed out about it. He
I just
messaged
had
me
a
a couple
dream.
of times.
I had a dream. A cop caught me smoking weed, so it did nothing for my songwriting. Is what I'm saying. It helped at none.
It helped not one
Not at
little
all.
whit,
Not
did
at
it?
all. It gave me bad dreams, actually.
Oh no. Well, the goal today is to come up with at least a chorus, a verse, and a chord progression to use throughout the song. If we only come up with that, we'll take that and hand it off to the next group in either October or November of songwriters. Give them this and say, what would you do with this as a part of their songwriting exercise? Be sure that you let me know who you want to see in that particular songwriting exercise, right? So that we can maybe even do 3 of them. Do one in October and one in November and see what we come with at the end of November.
They don't get to see this until it's their turn.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's got to be the catch.
That's got to be the catch.
And also, if any of this sucks, no one gets to see this.
No one gets to see this.
We bury this deep.
Okay. All right.
I like this. I am stressed out about it, but I think you're going to see. This is based on one person's songwriting style. So
right.
But you're getting a pretty good. There's a pretty broad spectrum of songwriting styles, and like you've got 2 completely different.
Right.
Approaches.
That's kind of what I was
room
hoping
now,
for.
so,
I wanted the blend.
This is going to be cool. This is going to be fun. Even if it crashes and burns miserably, at least it's going to be very, very interesting, right?
My hope is that it's
Agreed.
entertaining. So what started me on that path thinking about this was a book that I purchased for myself. It's called Practice, a monthly lyric workbook by Half Shy. And it gives you all sorts of neat morning dump, right? So this is... without censoring, fill the space with your morning thoughts. Boot up sequence. What did you dream about? See, John, you need that one, right? And then it gives you weekly and monthly exercises. Now, I'm not necessarily recommending this. I'm saying that this was a place that works for me because,
pretty cool.
Like
I want to try that. That
Yeah.
seems really
I've never met an unhelpful tool.
Yeah. See,
Like all tools have a use. and
all
a
tools
purpose,
have
so.
hi, how you doing, Hawk? All tools have a use. That's right.
Right.
And I want to look at this as being a tool. Maybe there's some people who write songs, but they're afraid to put them out there, or they're like, I don't know, I may have some ideas, but I wouldn't know how to get started. Let's get started.
Take it from me. You can be scared to put your stuff out there for a long time, and then when you finally do, you're like, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because once I started playing my stuff and sharing my music, I was like, I got better at it.
Okay.
Like all the songwriting stuff got better because the people you draw to you when you're out in the music scene are other musicians, and they're going to influence you. Most of the people I'm around don't do what I do. You know what I mean?
Okay.
They're different styles.
Define, is it a style thing that
Yes.
you're talking about?
Yeah,
Okay.
very much so.
Well, I think-
And most people have their own strengths. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so when I see somebody with really badass guitar skills, I'm like, I'm impressed by that and blown
Well,
away
yeah,
by
of
it. I'm
course.
not. I have my own strengths that I do. They have their own, and so I'm influenced by a lot of that,
Okay.
a lot of other people's stuff.
And that helps to influence how you write your songs?
Well, he was talking about how he gets blocked.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I get past my blocks. Is I'll meet somebody and I'll just kind of absorb that, and then observe what they're doing and be like, I'm gonna write a song about that person in particular. And then you start writing a song about that person and their whole vibe, and then it just grows into pretty much a whole demographic of people. And so you have a lot to pull from. I was telling Liz before I leave the house, one exercise I do is just making stuff up on my head, but I'll think of locations, like specific places like a casino, a hotel, a bank, and then just start saying words that are with those places.
Okay.
And it
Start
just brings
visualizing
vocabulary. Yeah, it brings vocabulary.
So I was saying, like, the last couple songs that I've written are the first songs I've ever written with a specific idea in mind, right?
Okay.
So, I've been working on the MMIW project, and that's the first time that I've actually, it's definitely not a commission, but it's kind of feels that way because, I approached them with this idea of writing a song that kind of raises awareness for their cause, right? And so what they are doing is trying to raise awareness for, missing and murdered Indigenous women in the North America, in Canada mostly. It happens a lot in Canada and the northern United States. And it's just been a horrible, horrible epidemic for, the entire history of North America, And it's
a
not something that's really
worldwide thing. Mm-hmm.
talked about, So what I did was I envisioned a little, a young girl going through, being abducted and murdered and lost, basically. And I really kind of wrote it like I watched a lot of true crime, especially true crime based around that particular. I did
That'll do
research,
it. That'll do it.
and I kind
Every
of
time.
just wrote a true crime story,
Right.
Right.
and
Okay.
that was cool for me. So I'm trying to kind of pick my own brain right now for things that have worked, that I might have to implement in a situation where I kind of have a very strict deadline,
Okay. So
So-
you've got a deadline, guys. And let's see, we are, how far into it are we? Started about 10 minutes ago.
Right,
so-
and we were just handed these ideas to work off of.
Yes.
So it's like, man.
Well, okay, I know. That may seem mean, but it wasn't intended to be. It was more intended to be so if, say, for
I'm
whatever reason,
dramaticizing the
Yeah,
effect
yeah,
for the
well-
audience tomorrow. We
Yeah.
were
If
just
you-
handed.
if you ever go to a competition where they do something like this, you'll have less time.
Right.
Yeah.
So what can you do once you've slept on it a little bit? What can you do?
I can do a pretty good limerick generally. What?
I would be interested to see how a limerick will turn into a song.
Okay, let's not do that.
See, I'm already in my head.
He's doing limericks. He's got
You're
it
doing
stuck
a
in his
limerick?
head now.
Oh no! Oh
I'm
no!
ready.
Sorry.
I'm already writing more. All right.
All right, you came up with. It looks like you came up with some lyrics.
Oh, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's
I've been doing this since I got the 3 words.
right.
Like, well, here
So
we
the
go.
3 words again. Long way back.
Right.
So what you got?
I used multiple things to incorporate it. I had a chord progression and some lyrics that said, it don't take long if you go the right way to get back to me. So it's like I was going to spread them all out throughout the lines, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But then right before I left the house, I started messing with this.
Okay.
Do you mind if I pick along with you a little bit?
Pick along as much as you want.
This might be the only thing I contribute. That
No.
and comic relief.
Nah, you can. Yeah, I have faith in both of you. You can work collaboratively. It'll work. I
No, this
promise.
is really cool. I got to listen to a little bit of this while we were waiting for this thing to get started. Man, it's cool. I like it.
John's a good writer.
emotions when you moved across the ocean. I made a bad joke and I know better than to get too clever with you. You said that you were gonna leave. How could you ever leave somebody like me? I slapped my knee, but you weren't laughing, and you started packing that day. I never meant to drive you away. Over something stupid I say. It's a long way back to you. It's a long way back to you. You said that you missed me for a while, but you got caught up in the riptide.
So that's where the...
We got to finish it off.
Okay, so the second verse starts, what? I never...
The second verse starts with, you said you missed me for a while.
Okay.
What'd you say?
That was tasty.
Oh.
Yeah, I love this. This is such a cool song.
I don't know about all that.
We'll find out. We'll see how it goes.
I've never written a lead part to a song before, and that's just such a little simple thing, and I just think it sounds cool.
Well, I was showing him when I got in here that song is actually... So take your cap and leave my sweater, and I've got nothing left. Things got a whole lot better. She'll think of me. But then it's also like, well, you done me in. I felt it. So I was like, so if it's already 2 songs, what's it matter that it's 3?
Well,
I'm gonna
okay,
add that
so
one to my set list.
that is something that...
It's on Tim's set list too.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we've talked about, though. And I know there's a couple of videos out there that show that there's really only so many progressions that people really think about. And it's changing the melody that's always important, right? Because you can get the same set of chord progressions going, and as long as you change the melody a little bit, the melody line. So what keys you've got going there? Just describe this, because there is a point at which this is going to go on the radio.
This is G, I believe. No idea. This is E minor,
Right?
and then I'm going to a C. And then when I
Okay.
go into that, it's an A minor, A 7th, A minor 7th.
So I think the key is actually E minor. Well,
E minor.
I'm playing B minor, and it sounds good.
Okay. Oh, sounds good. I like it.
Sorry.
Are you serious?
I was hearing that phone. This is really weird. Anytime I have my headphones on, I can hear a phone before it rings.
Have you ever, has that ever happened to you, like over at Sean's or here or anything? Like,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
Studio headphones on, and you'll hear it start zzz, and then somebody's phone will ring.
Oh, yeah?
It drives me nuts.
I won't happen again.
that a lot.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
too.
What's going on?
We're in a people aquarium over
Yeah,
here.
we are.
Yeah, this is a fishbowl.
We'd probably be the type of people you'd want to see in a zoo.
I don't know. So what would be your next step figuring that? Add something to it.
Yeah,
Terry.
I'm
I mean,
going
is there
to-
something that you want to add to? I mean, lyric-wise? You said that you were having a little bit of a
Well, I'm gonna have to
writer's
kind of
block,
read the
but I'm
lyrics
hoping
because
that...
I've been listening to the music so much that I haven't even really been paying attention to the lyrics. Why don't you read them for us?
Okay.
I think that would be helpful.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
think your inflection would
All right,
help
right
us.
on. It says, "You stir up my emotions when you moved across the ocean. I made a bad joke, and I know better than to get too clever with you. You said that you were gonna leave. How could you ever leave somebody like me? And I slapped my knee, but you weren't laughing, and you started packing that day. I never meant to drive you away. Over something stupid, I say. Stay." So that's all I got.
You could read that song with the music behind it like that, and people would buy it. My grandma, you know, if she was still
great.
here, rest her soul, she would have every one of your albums if that's all you did, was just play the guitar and talk.
Right on. Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's something to be said for having the kind of voice that translates well. I
Oh,
suppose.
yeah.
Translate's not the right word, but it's, yeah. It's like listening to Morgan Freeman.
Oh,
Yeah. No,
yeah, I
Morgan
remember
Freeman's-
seeing Andy in the park.
Morgan
gathered
Freeman's got that
rocks.
voice.
John
you
Van
know?
Hus can narrate my life from here on out.
Yeah, see?
If I ever get into a tax bracket where I can afford it, I'm hiring him to narrate my life.
I don't cost that much, so. Be very low tax bracket.
Well, that's just encouraging.
You don't have to just set your goals too high. Mate. So really, I'm stuck at the chorus. Like I got to that part,
Well, you
and I
got
do
a-
the.
You had a chorus.
I never
that
meant to
heard.
drive you away. Over something stupid, I'd say. And I was just do it going, it's a long way back to you, is all I was saying. So it's like, I was just making sure I got those 3 words in.
Play that chord progression again real
Yeah.
quick. That's
The whole, which
that's
part?
a G right there, right?
Yeah,
You got a
yeah.
G.
Back to you. It's a long way back to you.
Sure, we could maybe go somewhere else if we wanted to. We don't have to stay in that, you know.
No.
I'm trying to find a change there that kind of brings it back up, but no, it's all right. So you're playing G, A,
Yeah, I'm playing G,
A, E minor,
C, and then when I do that little step down, it goes to A minor 7, C, A minor 7.
back to the A there.
I don't need them. Take your face together. Okay. I can't help it. I just can't help it. I
Hey,
can't.
that's fine. Inspiration comes from the weirdest places, right?
Got to get a chorus for this. Long way back. And again, I kind of like the idea of not saying a long way back, saying something long, something way, and something back. And so the ends of each line say long way back. See what I mean?
So
Thought that was Victoria Lemons.
how would you put that?
Almost got excited.
how about something like, we don't always have to get along, but there's got to be another way. Somehow we can bring it back.
At the end of the day.
Right on.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
you go. All right.
We can just get along. Gotta find a way.
See, I kind of like how, because it's like there's a fight, like there's
Right.
something going on between them. So it's kind of, you're kind of like offering an olive branch by saying, we don't always have to get along, but there's got to be another way. Somehow.
And
you know,
there's not. And
I
there's
think-
got to be another way.
But I
If
love
you
the
say
way.
but,
I love the
then-
way you're incorporating the last on every one of those songs. You know, you're saying we don't always have to get along, but there's got to be a better way than what we're doing now. And
This is not the better way. I don't know.
I don't know. I like it though. This is cool. This is really cool. This is.
In my head, I'm like, keep fucking talking. Keep talking. Like,
Yeah, no, keep talking.
You know,
That's my problem. I am reticent to give out any lyrics because I don't want them to sound stupid.
well, that's the thing. I'll say this about songwriting. Songwriting is a hard thing to do live in front of people
Yep.
because
Yeah.
it's really, truly, it's a lot of silence.
yeah.
Because it's a lot of, at my house, I sit there and I'll be quiet just for a while thinking quietly.
Well, I
to
mean, all
myself.
you're doing is filling
Forming.
space, right? That's all music
Right.
is filling space.
Right. And so
No,
it's like,
I don't know that. I don't know that I necessarily agree with the fact that it's just
Just-
Well,
filling
no,
space.
Right.
no, that's what you're doing. You're decorating space.
Okay,
You
now
know,
that I
that's-
will agree with.
You're decorating.
I mean, and
time.
yeah, I'll agree. A lot of what I write comes, believe it or not, when I'm in the car and
Right.
nobody else is with me, and I'm driving or, well, the last few were when I was driving long distances and everybody else was asleep in the car, you know, because I don't drive long distances by myself.
What if it was something like, we don't always have to get along, but we do have to find a way. It's going to be tricky because there are only 3 words and we've got to have 4 lines to really make it fit rhythmically. So, we don't always have to get along, but we have to find a better way.
Can't we find a better way?
But can we find a better way? Can we find a better
I like that better. Can't we find a better way? Because it's a question.
to get a hold of what we had and bring it back?
Yeah.
I like that. To reach back to what we had and bring it back.
Have to get along. He can find a way. Bring it all back. Back here another day.
Now I'm starting to hear Jewel.
Yeah, sorry.
No, that's okay. I like it. I dig it. This has a Jewel vibe.
see, now I'm starting to alter chords.
Okay. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Well, if you're in the first part of a song, in the first part of creation,
I had
there's
this
a lot of-
conversation with who was it yesterday? Taylor. No, it was somebody yesterday though about keeping it simple. Oh, Dro, my buddy Dro. You
Okay.
know Dro. I had this conversation with him about keeping it simple, which he does not keep it simple at
No,
all.
not
He'll-
a simple
I'll be
guy.
like, hey man, he's not a writer, he's not a singer really, but he's amazing at the guitar. And I'm like, just send me some instrumentals you got, and I'll see what I can throw on them. And he's like, all right. And he sent me this instrumental, and I was like,
dude.
I was like, that's 3 different songs, man. I was like, have you ever listened to the original Behind Blue Eyes, the Who's version of their
Yes.
Behind Blue Eyes,
I
where
can't
it goes
say
through the Behind Blue Eyes and my dreams, they aren't as empty as my conscience seems to be. But then it changes tempo.
Yeah.
If I'm go hand me a show, and it's like, 2 different songs, completely different songs in one song. And he does that. He'll send me 3 different. It'll go from one whole thing into the whole. And I'm like, good. And they all
Bohemian
blend
Rhapsody
well.
does the same thing.
Yes.
It's like 5 different
Right.
songs.
They're odysseys of a song. You're like, all right.
Somebody was Matt Gibson was sending me some of his stuff, and he's real into like doom, like stoner metal stuff, and some of those songs, I mean, they're epics. He's got songs that he sent me that are 15 to 17 minutes long, and somehow all instrumentally keeps it interesting from start to finish.
Right on.
This dude is like, I mean, people
amazing.
people know Matt as being a country guy, being he started playing here with Turtle Rat. Well, he started here kind of doing his own thing, and then Turtle Rat formed, and then we played a lot of country music, and Pedal Train plays country music, and but Matt's probably one of the most versatile, not only musicians but songwriters you will ever meet in your life.
Right on.
Matt Gibson is just, I mean,
He's amazing. He's phenomenal just to watch him perform too.
He's
amazing.
Yeah, he is.
He's a very untapped resource because I feel like he's kind of been pigeonholed into country because he's amazing at it.
Right.
Well, I mean, that's all I've
He's
ever really
amazing.
heard him play.
Yeah.
So.
But man,
the weirdest thing to me was to listen to Tim play metal music
Oh yeah.
in the living room, and I'm like, holy crap.
It's funny.
It's
pretty
funny.
good,
It's
eh?
funny.
It's funny when you see people and you listen to the covers that they do, and then you hear their original stuff.
Right.
The difference it is because I kind of get pegged as a country too. I think it's more because of my aesthetic than anything. But I play a little country, but most of what I do is not. The 2 songs that I've released so far, I think I released them first because they were my most country sounding songs, and I wanted to get those. I didn't want to drop those on people, after they've heard what I mainly do.
There's another guy that doesn't ever get talked about around here.
Yeah.
But he's from here, and he's got a lot of musical influence around here that he's like from a long time ago. Julian Polero.
Yes.
Oh yes.
That
yes.
guy writes a song a day, and it's
does.
always
Every
another,
single one
like I
of
say, odyssey. It's always
Yeah.
some long, really intricate, detailed, and he's a music savant too.
Oh, he is.
He's incredible.
I met him the first time I ever played at Green Growler when they were still over there at
Oh,
the
right.
Triangle.
Yeah, right down here at the Triangle.
Yeah, and I've met him one time. We've been friends on Facebook ever since. We followed each other, and that dude does put out some amazing
Yeah,
stuff.
he does.
Like,
He's
Yeah.
really good.
He's unbelievable.
Really talented
I
guy.
need to get him, get a hold of him. But, so what do you think we have? Because we've got about 15 minutes left.
We've got a
Wow,
verse.
that went quick.
Yeah, it goes.
Yeah,
it
we've
does,
got a
doesn't
verse.
it?
We've got a solid verse, and we've got a solid guitar part.
Right.
Okay.
And we need to flesh out that chorus. And,
Yeah.
and
Well, let's
call
work
it
on
a
that.
day.
Let's get that chorus fleshed
Do you
out.
like that idea though? Is there a way that you can incorporate those lyrics
Yeah.
into that?
Yeah. I like the idea of the long, the way, and the back
Yeah.
being
Okay.
different lines of
And
their
then
own.
maybe
so.
actually throw in somewhere in the end. It's
Well, to me, seems like it should be something at the end. So something along that 4th line that we all agree that we need.
You stirred up my emotions when you moved across the ocean. I'd read a joke, and I know better than to get too clever with you. You said that you were gonna leave. How could you ever leave somebody like me? I slapped my knee, but you weren't laughing. You started packing today. I never meant to drive you away. Over something stupid I say.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, but I need to find a melody. I want to separate the chorus from the verse. Does that make sense? I don't want the verse or the chorus to sound like the verse at all.
do something. Keep it simple. Do just a stop, like a one beat pause, and then go into something else. You're building up at that point anyway.
Yeah.
So you can break it down real quick and then start a chorus. Where's the man?
Dragging the leash behind it.
She does that. She does that.
Good thing there ain't nobody attached to that thing. They'd be in trouble right now, I tell you what.
That's why Chris just drops it.
She
Ain't
is.
no holding on to it.
They are talking about our little dog Penelope. She's following my husband into
She's like
the
a teacup
studio.
chihuahua.
She almost, not quite. She weighs just under 5 pounds, and she's just the cutest thing in the world. But she loves her guy, and cries when we leave the house. So if he has to go back to the house, he was going to pick up the dog.
Thank you much.
Thank you.
Hi, puppy.
Hi. What's up, Penelope?
Yeah, thank you, sir.
It's the Penelope.
Crying.
Yes, I know, baby.
I had to bring her. Come on.
Say hi to Terry. Go say hi to John, and I'll go with Dad.
Come on.
Hi, baby. Bye, baby.
Oh, here's your
Yeah, man, I really am digging this though.
for your phone.
Thanks.
I almost don't even want to.
My wife said, figure it out, because I like it.
I don't want to leave it. I don't want to leave it here. Like I want us
Right
to
on.
finish it. I want
Yeah, right on. Well, I've got kind of a second chorus, or verse.
Okay, let's hear it.
Second verse was going to be
Oh, there goes the pen.
We're feeling it. Does that sound alright in there though, Ann? Do you like that?
Yes.
I feel like
I
it
do.
kind of adds to the melody a little bit.
See, that's the thing. If I can hear chord progressions that I like, I can usually come up with a melody. Sometimes I have to rework the words after I've written them to, fill in with what sounds the way I like it to sound.
You
Does
know,
that make sense?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just thinking about this. Like, this is the first time I've ever actively co-wrote a song too. Like, I've written lyrics for people before.
Right.
You know, I've written lyrics that I couldn't come up with a guitar part for and just gave them to somebody else to use. You know, but to actually sit down and write a song together, this is the first time I've ever done this.
So the first part of the second verse says, you said you missed me for a while, but you were caught up in the riptide. Now all my thoughts were washed across the water. No. All my thoughts were washed across the water. So see, I'm missing that thing. My thoughts were washed across the water.
Lots of marking out going on.
Washed across the water. Said that you missed me for a while, but you were caught up in the riptide. All my thoughts were washed across the waters.
Do 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 do. I don't know. Does that sound?
Across the water.
I'm trying to remember how like the rhythm goes at that point.
You said you missed me for a while, but you were caught up in the riptide. And all my thoughts were washed across the waters. It makes you feel much farther away. Makes you feel much farther away. Makes you feel much farther away.
Yeah, that works.
Makes you feel much. This is live. This is happening live right here.
Yeah.
This is me doing it live. I don't do this live. I feel like Bill O'Reilly right now. I can do it live. Just go.
Sometimes I wonder what their faces look like in there.
Oh, what Chris and Chris look like
Yeah.
in there?
They're
Yeah.
probably laughing.
We need a Chris
These
and Chris
guys are
cam.
posers. Hey, they're paying us though.
That's
We'll let them
something-
keep doing what they
that's
do.
something we need. We need a Chris and Chris cam. Maybe a Chris and Chris mic too. But we have
I'm
to
not
be
sure
able,
that's smart.
We have to be able to control that one though.
I know, right?
Yeah.
There are times I'm not sure that's smart.
Kissing Chris Camp.
No, I don't think any of us want to see that.
I'm pretty sure not.
Pay a nickel to not have to see it.
To not have to see it.
Yeah, I got my nickel. Here's $1. Keep change.
For all the future times.
Here's a whole bag of nickels. I got these glass bottles at the house. Now, if you take them up to Canada or Indiana,
Caught up in the riptide. All my thoughts were washed across the waters. It makes you feel much farther away.
we're halfway through having 2 verses, solid verses.
All right.
So I watched you from the other side.
Right on.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
In the riptide, all my thoughts were washed across the waters. It makes you feel much farther away. So I watch you from the other side. So I watch you from the other side. Oops.
The silence is
So why are we like, what caused us to have this fight in the beginning? Is it just like a lover's quarrel that's kind of driving this?
Let's add that as a line. Play it back through my mind.
What could I have done differently?
We gotta match that rhythm where he goes through the caught up in the water thing.
What could I have done? What could I have done differently? That's not gonna work.
You from the other side. I play it back through inside my mind.
And then we match that the caught up in the water part that you did in the part before we match that rhythm. I think it would really be cool.
Oh, the across the waters makes you feel much farther.
Yeah.
That part.
I watch you from the other side. Play it back. Play it back inside my mind.
Through my mind? Same inside?
You said you missed me for a while. You were caught up in the riptide. All my thoughts washed across the waters. It makes you feel much farther away. So I watch you from the other side. I play it back inside. Play it back
Through
through
my
inside my
mind.
What was it that bothered? What was it
And
that
how I
bothered you?
could have
made
done
you-
it differently.
What
Hey,
was
that
it?
works. And how I could have done it differently.
Why were we so
I'm
bothered?
trying to alliterate.
Or
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Why were we so bothered?
Like I'm trying to do an alliteration, like a whoa, 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 or a la 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 la. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
So I think why were we so
Right?
bothered?
Yeah, right, right on. Yeah, I'm
No,
trying to
I know what
alliterate.
you're saying.
Why were we so bothered? Because it starts with a W. I mean, it ends with water on the first time you do it. So if we start with a W, I think it would be
Play it back and forth inside my mind.
back and forth inside my mind. Why were we so bothered? And da 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 or whatever.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's don't put that in the song.
Not yet, anyway.
this started.
I really,
Long.
yeah. There's the long way back, right?
Okay. So you said you missed me for a while, but you were caught up in the riptide, and all my thoughts were washed across the waters. It makes you feel much farther away. So I watch you from the other side. I play it back and forth inside my mind, and all of this started. all this started. From some retarded fool making a stupid joke. Oh, see?
That's pretty much it. That's
no.
that, but that's well, that's the way.
Retarded is not, I don't think retarded's gonna get in there.
That's not PC. That's not PC.
I mean,
Well, no.
what band was it? Let's get retarded. And they tried to bring it. The
yeah.
Black Eyed Peas
Yeah, Black
tried
Eyed
to
Peas.
get it.
Black
back.
Eyed Peas tried to bring a lot.
They
of
tried to
things.
get it, but
It did not work out.
No. Everybody was like, "Get out of here, Fergie." Way back inside my mind, all this.
The only good thing that came out of the Black Eyed Peas was Will I Am's character in Madagascar 2. I might have made that up. I don't know. Got a baby on the way, so I'm kind of reliving old kid movies. Trying
Yeah,
to figure
don't
out
remind
trying
me.
to figure out which ones I can sit through before I introduce them to
Yeah,
her.
Aladdin. You'll have to sit through Aladdin.
I liked Aladdin though, except the video game. That was one of the hardest video games. It was on like Sega Genesis, I think. I just dated myself, huh?
Yeah, a little bit.
We all got started a little bit late at this, didn't we?
I think so. I remember thinking that Jonathan couldn't be any more than about 30. I was off by a decade.
Am I the youngest one in the room? That doesn't happen very
I don't
often.
know. Well, you know, I'm almost by default usually the oldest one, so doesn't matter. Beyond that.
People ask me how old I am. I'm just like, almost 40. I'm 37.
You're the youngest one in the room.
But I've been almost 40 for about 10 years now.
You said you missed me for a while, but you were caught up in a riptide. And all my thoughts were washed across the waters. It makes you feel much farther away. So I watch you from the other side. I play it back and forth inside my mind. All this started with just a silly comment I made. All this started with just a
Silly comment.
over something stupid I said. What?
A silly comment I made, something
Oh, that's where
stupid
you
I
go to the
said.
minor, okay.
Treat it like a comma.
Well,
At that.
it's
'Cause that's that-
I'm trying to add this part. This I never meant to drive you away over something
Mm-hmm.
stupid I say under this part. So,
So I watch you from the other side. I play it back and forth inside my mind. All this started with just a silly comment.
Just a silly
needs
comment
one
I
more.
made.
Needs one more. The math ain't mathin'.
Yeah.
All this started with just
Just
a
a
silly
silly
comment.
There. Okay. It's
Oh,
So I watch you from the other side. I play it back and forth inside my mind. All this started with just a silly comment, all half-hearted I made.
There you go. All right.
Never meant to drive you away. Over something stupid I say. Stay.
now we need a chorus.
Just, I wonder if it shouldn't say, how could this have started?
Let's try.
I watch you from the other side. I play it back and forth inside my mind. How could all this, how could have all this started? Just a silly comment, it was so half-hearted.
See, that's what I'm trying to roll into.
I feel like it kind of needs to be a little bit fuller there. How could all of this have started?
On the other side, I play it back and forth inside my mind.
How could all of this?
That's too many words.
Yeah, it is.
The math ain't mathing.
No, it's not.
I watch you from the other side. I play it back and forth inside my mind. All this started with just a silly comment, so half-hearted. Never meant to drive you away. Over something stupid I say. And not one word long way back is in this song at all.
No.
So, hey, I wrote a song, guys. We wrote a song, guys.
I feel like I kind of just watched.
We wrote. Hey, no, you were in here. You did.
What is it? What
three
is it?
lines in here, I'm pretty sure.
What is it? What is it? 3 words equals 3%?
You did.
Is that the way it works with songwriting credits?
Maybe.
Isn't that the old saying? 3 words equals
I'll watch you
3%?
from the other side. And wasn't you the...
I think just watch you from the other
Yeah,
side.
but I thought you did the waters part too or something.
No, I said
You know-
that. I said that we needed to match that rhythm.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's still a collaborative effort, and I still.
Well, it's a
look at
collaborative
it.
effort when you send us the thing.
I mean, I feel like this benefited me a whole lot more than it benefited you guys.
No.
You know.
No.
So
No.
I mean, I'm happy.
I need to do this type of stuff more where it's under pressure type
Well,
of
see,
stuff.
that's exactly what I'm talking about. Is I need to learn I need to be more comfortable with doing things like this because if
I'm extremely uncomfortable with
because
it.
I'm gonna have to make.
Are you
this,
really?
Yeah, it's,
trying to
this
make-
is
Sorry, I didn't mean to
No,
make you
no, that's
uncomfortable.
good. That's how you get better.
Yeah,
that's how
you get
progress
better,
is made,
exactly.
man. You got to get out of your comfort zone.
No, I'm happy.
Sometimes.
This was cool. This was
Yeah,
really cool.
this is dope.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank
Hey,
you.
no
Thank you for letting me
problem.
do this.
I can certainly see a place for this, right? I mean, there's
I
a
still-
lot
I
of
still don't
places
wanna- I
that
still
do
don't wanna
those
let it go.
kind of.
Yeah, right. There's so much more work to do.
And that's
Smuggle it outta
okay.
here.
That's okay. If it comes out to us meeting again in a month to see if this filters through all our heads and it works that way, what little teeny tiny bit I get to add to it, hey, I'm happy, right?
Right.
But I do want to say my ending spiel. I've got to do that, right? So because we're about that time. If you are watching this on Facebook, send stars because stars turn into money and money turns into extra episodes, right? If you are watching this on YouTube, they don't have one of those. They don't have stars. But if you forward this to somebody else, you like and subscribe, and then you forward this to somebody else, maybe it's not exactly what you wanted to hear right now, but somebody else needed to hear this, okay? They will then like and subscribe, one hopes, and, you know, the more that happens, the more people see it, the more people are going to go watch it on Facebook and send stars. If you're listening to this on the Block 105, SoCal Radio, or KJAM, you can support us by going to annhousemusic.com and clicking on literally, it's a tip jar, guys. It's an icon that looks like a tip jar. That way, somebody can donate to Open Mic with Ann House, and we can guess
Send
what?
this woman some damn stars.
So, guess what? More money means more episodes. If you happen to be listening to that's the list. We got the radio part. If you're watching this on Outlaw TV, there will be a QR code coming up that you guys can use to support us. The last thing I want to say here is that I have a Patreon account, right? And I try to get some stuff up there for, enhanced content. But again, the more money that you put in the Patreon account equals more episodes.
What can we see on the Patreon account, Ann?
Well, I try to reserve back some content from some of the shows that we do.
There's cuss words on there.
Yeah.
Last week there was a lot of cuss words, a lot of sexy stuff.
Last week there was a lot of cuss words. There was a lot of. It was a train wreck. It was a train wreck. It literally was a train wreck, right?
So each week there's this spicy content. It's like OnlyFans for podcasts.
Kind of, yeah, in a way. It is, and it's.
Any nudes on there?
No, we
So
don't
we
do
get
that.
that cleared up so nobody.
Yeah, no, we don't do that. It is
Different
not
website.
an OnlyFans page. It is additional content like from
Premium
the,
content.
premium.
How much we
content.
talking here? 50, 30, 60
Oh.
bucks? What are we talking?
Please, the lowest paid level is $3 a month. guys.
$3?
You really can't go go wrong with that. $3 a month, $5 a month. So I tried to keep it pretty low because I want people to, I want people to enjoy the content that's there, but I want people to feel comfortable enough to be able to subscribe. Maybe
If I'm paying 20, I need nudes. I'm just going to keep it real.
Well, I'll keep that in mind.
So,
I'll
pay $5. All right.
All right. 5 works. The last thing I want to say is local music is where it's at, all right? Instead of buying your high-priced ticket to something at an arena or whatever, can you just take it to a local establishment, pay a cover, like Calhoun's is like usually a
Just
$5 or $10
find out where John the
cover.
Revelator's playing at and go see him.
How much is a typical cover? $10 at most?
Yeah, $10
$10
at most.
$10 at most. At
And
least
you're
in our
going to spend
area.
like maybe $5 in gas.
$5 in gas.
Drinks
You'll
are-
spend $5 on a drink.
Drinks
You'll
are
spend-
20% cheaper.
Yeah, and you'll spend
Dude, if
a
you
little bit
spent,
on
you would get
Okay,
tanked if you spent what you spent going to like an arena.
the
Really- I mean,
average arena cost is anywhere from $100 to $300.
I heard I saw 1,000
Yeah, I've seen those
for
too.
a couple. That's like that just
Yeah.
came out
That sounds about right.
for a couple to go out of town to a concert to Live Nation. They just did a report.
Right.
$980 for tickets if you stay at a hotel or if you just pay for parking, your drinks, your
paying
dinner.
for parking. Oh my god.
It
yes.
averaged to be $280 per a ticket per a big music venue, and it was really fucked up, Ann, because
That's
these
a lot
artists,
of money.
these artists are getting like 10% of that, and like it's like these concert promoting venue. They chart. There's so many surcharges at this point.
It's
Ticketmaster,
Oh man,
they
Live
ruined-
Nation,
They
Ticketmaster.
ruined the entire
Man.
industry.
But
So
if
go
you-
support local.
Yeah,
it's
if-
cheaper.
You can't go anywhere in downtown Denison on a Friday or Saturday night and not find some place that's got live music with
most
no cover.
nights.
And it
Most
fits your
nights.
vibe. Like if you want
It
some kind of
does.
upscale thing, you got upscale. You want to dive, you got to dive. You want
Oh gosh,
there's a
upscale. There's
saloon.
34 Chop House across the way. That's about as upscale as you're going to get around here. If you want to dive, the Coyote Club is down on Myrick, right? If you
we just got
want-
canceled.
I know, right? If you want wine bars, there's 3 of them.
No shit, wine bar.
There are 3 wine locations
Look at this,
here.
Dave
in the
Mustaine
area,
from
right?
Megadeth walking up the street right now.
There's
Looks like he's
2
been shopping.
breweries
Let's
in
try
the
to see-
area.
Let's see what boutique he was at.
You're going to find live music no matter where you go in this area. And these local musicians are what keep this is how you get the big musicians, is by supporting local.
This is the Patreon side, right? Sorry, I dropped the F-bomb. I thought it was.
Nope.
I realized that it wasn't. I will put a
That's
bleep
how
on
you
it.
Patreon-
make big
my
musicians too, is
Patreon-
by supporting the local.
I thought it was Patreon
Right.
time. That's why I just kind of crashed. Sorry.
Oh, no, that's fine. Actually, I want this out on the regular stuff. So Patreon stuff, we may fart around with a little bit more for a little bit. But seriously, if you support local, yeah, sure.
It's like 10 minutes?
It's 10, 15 minutes at most. If you're out here and you're out and around, just
Go to White
you
Shop.
can find some local music and drop some money in their tip jar. Help keep them going, because I know of exactly 2 local musicians who are full-time musicians.
Yeah, and all of
Okay.
us, not all of us, but most of us are trying to get to a point where this is sustainable at the very least, and
Right.
that's all we. Most of us, that's all we want, is to be able to afford to do what we love to do, and
Right.
what we love to do is entertaining you. So I mean, why spend that money on somebody that will never even meet you when you can come out and support 5 or 10 people for the same amount that will shake
So-
your hand after the show? You know?
Yeah, you're at. I remember seeing that you're over at Iron Horse. What is your next gig?
So my
Terry?
next gig is September 13th at Old Timer Singer Songwriter venue in Valley
Okay.
View. I'll be opening for Casey Chestnut that night. I believe music starts at 6. You can check out my
Okay.
website and
Which is?
fact check me. TerryWayneConder.com.
Okay.
I keep all my shows up to date on there. So
Beautiful. What's your next one, John?
Oh man, I do a lot of open mics.
Right.
So I've got an open mic coming up on Wednesday at Bumper Club. I got one on Thursday over here at Coyote. I'll be playing at the Jam Show case at Kickbacks.
Bumper Club in Sherman.
Yes, sir.
Oh, sweet.
Coyote
Cool.
Bumper.
Man, so like that's awesome.
Yeah,
I didn't
there's-
realize they did that. I thought it was like a dance club or
I think
whatever.
that's a new thing. I've played there before.
Yeah.
I've
It's
played
like
there a
that's
couple
like
of
the
times.
spot. Did I see like I've been driving out there at night? There'll be like 400 cars. It looks like. out
Yeah,
there.
Popo
Yeah.
sit right outside too.
Bring
right
a
now.
driver.
Yeah.
They live down there.
Yes, just do be aware that if you go to either of those 2 clubs, that you should be really careful.
because you're going to have a really good time. You want to hear a crazy story
really
about Cody
are.
Club?
You really are going to have a great
Here we
time.
go. Here's a Patreon story for you guys. Sorry, Mom.
From Wichita Falls to Paris, from Atoka, Oklahoma to the Dallas area, Texoma has a thriving music scene. Revolving around country rock and blues, the singer-songwriters of the Texoma area reach into the outlying geographic enclaves here and there around the country. It's a scene of music that is defined more by geography than it is a sound and encompasses all the facets of the music scene on either side of the border. Denison, Texas is the hub of this music region, and it's music-friendly in so many ways. Long-standing tradition and musical family spanning generations are the hallmark of this area. Denison is also one of the first 20 cities in the state of Texas to be designated a music-friendly city by the state. My name is Ann House, and I'm a singer here in the Texoma area. We're live casting from beautiful downtown Denison at the Podcast on Main studio. This is Open Mic with Ann House.